Hello, my name's Tragic O'Hara, and today I'm going to change my desktop wallpaper. But of course, there's a story behind it. Everything I do is get a story that I need to tell beforehand. So here it is. The story is, at the beginning of the year, I went to meet someone called Mark, who was wanting to get some portraits painted in a gym. And then COVID happened, and it never really worked out. But when I was there, we get talking. Now, I'm not one for small chat. Like, I'm not into talking about the weather. If I'm talking to you, it's about like the fourth dimension and space and the universe and stuff. Like, I never do talk about, oh, the weather's been good. It's got to be intense. Me and Mark get talking. He was saying he's opening a gym, he's doing all this sort of stuff, and this particular place was on his vision board. And when he said that, I was like, what's that? What's a vision board? And Mark told me. Every day when he wakes up, he's got a board in his bed. I think he said it was in his cupboard. And when he opens it up, it's got all the things on it that he wants to achieve. The gym and this, that, and next thing, all the stuff. And I was like, I'm going to make a vision board. Now, I'm still incredibly Scottish, right? So as much as I'm into talking about the fourth dimension, like making a vision board, there's a bit of me that's like, don't show folk because they'll slag you. Like, don't... Like, I'm still incredibly Scottish. Like, I'm trying to get better, but I'm trying to get better in such a way that doesn't make me look as if I'm better than anybody else. Do you know what I mean? It's a proper West Coast of Scotland thing that you just want to poke your head up enough that a bullet won't catch you between the eyes. So that's what I done, made a vision board, but I didn't make like a thing on the wall because I thought I don't want people coming to my house and seeing it and then be like, what's this you're up to? I'd put it on my desktop. Like, I done my desktop wallpaper as a vision board because I work on my computer every day. There's not a day that doesn't go by that the computer isn't on, and I'll see it. So that's what I done, and I'll show you. I need to clean my desktop up though because it's an absolute travesty. Put it in. I'll sort that later. I won't sort that later. Like, I don't think there's anything else I can do with it. Right, I'll show you my desktop. I'll show you what I've done. So that's what my desktop looks like. That's the studio. So I've been thinking about moving out and getting a studio since the beginning of the year, and like that's all my stuff. So like there's a guitar, skateboard, I like on my computer. All I done was I went on to Photoshop and I just copied and pasted a load of stuff in. There's some lights for filming. Behind all those absolute rake of folders, there's a piano, a camera, me and my family, the Beatles. That's more on that later, and Joe Rogan because that's what I listen to all the time. A wee audio interface so I can start recording stuff again. So that's it. And I looked at it every single day. Like, I looked at it every day. So I'll show you right, look, there's a rack of spray paint. Right, so let me just show you, without breaking my camera. I've got a spray paint rack up there, and here's all my spray paint racked. Like, if I go in here, like, there's that piano set up. Like, I haven't got an actual piano, like, but that was lying in my garage for, I don't know, like, for 3 years, 4 years, probably longer. Like, I've had that since I was in my 20s. I bought that and I just dug it back out. Like, guitars, my audio stuff set up, so like I've been actually recording again, like, so I can start making music again. Like, there's my audio interface there, and like, you see this camera back up, plug it back in. I'm not saying I made a vision board and that was it. It was the easiest thing ever. Like, but what I'm saying is, looking at that every day, it's not like the universe just lined or the stars just aligned. It meant that it was always in the front of my mind. I was always thinking, that's what we're doing. Let me just straighten you up a wee bit. There we go. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that sort of stuff. So, and like, I literally just put in cool studios into Google and just shoved things in that I like. And I mean, it took me 10 minutes, but like, I'm here. I got it. I'm here. Do you know what I mean? So like, there is obviously some merit to the fact that this stuff works. So, but I'm here now, and that bit's done. So it made me think, what's the next? Like, what's the next goal? And I've spoke about this in previous videos, but I'm chasing the walrus. That's what I'm doing. I'm chasing this idea I've got for I Am the Walrus by the Beatles, which is why that Magical Mystery Tour album cover was up there, because that's always here. I want to keep it because that's where I want to go. So I made a video about the whole idea. I'll just recap quickly. So my idea is to paint a wall all imagery and icons and stuff that's like I am the walrus, so that the whole song, so when you can stand at the other end of the street and you would look at it and you would put your headphones in and you would listen to I Am the Walrus, and it would be like a solid gold walrus statue with the Eggmen round about it, and then like waiting in the van to come, so like a happy van and like all that kind of stuff. So when you're looking at it, it's all there. That's the end, not the end goal, but that's like that particular train of thought. That's my goal. But I don't just want to do the walrus first. Like I want to work for it. Like, I don't want it just to happen straight away. One of the things I do want to do is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So I thought I'll make Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That'll be my next desktop. And then that'll be the thing I'm thinking about. And that'll be the thing that when I see it, I'm like, oh, and it's always there. Like, that's what I think helps, is it's always there. Every time you see it, you're thinking about it. Like, it's there constantly to keep you, I don't know, on track. Like, motivated. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it works for me. So I'm going to do Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I say I'm going to do it. I've done it. Like, it's finished. Like, I've done it. Like, but so I opened up Photoshop and I started working on it. I was trying to make it look like Terry Gilliam. I said this to my friend the other day and he told me I was pronouncing his name wrong. So Gilliam, Terry Gilliam. I've been calling him Terry Gillingham since I was a teenager. Terry Gilliam. I probably still aren't saying it right. So I was trying to make it use Photoshop to make it look like Terry Gilliam's. Oh man. I was trying to use Photoshop to make it look like Monty Python stuff. That's so much easier to say. Like, that was what I was trying to do. What Terry Gilliam done was he cut things out and put them down and photographed them and all that sort of stuff. And so using Photoshop to make that sort of stuff, that doesn't work. It looks too clean. So about 9 months ago, maybe longer, I came up with this idea where I thought I was watching Ricky Gervais, and he done a bit where he was sending postcards to people with things written on them, like messages that the postman would read. They were quite cheeky, shall we say. So I thought I'd like to do that. So I bought a rake of postcards and 3 books of stamps, and I was going to like put a wee balloon in the corner for the tragical mystery tour, and I'd do things like, I'd write just random things like, "That's us here safe and sound, please make sure my cat's okay." Just write stupid stuff and then put them out and send them to people, just random addresses from, I'd go to Google Maps, and I was going to go and look in their street and go and actually write, so that people genuinely thought these were people they knew, but they didn't. Who's Tom? Like that kind of thing. So I think the way to make this look like Terry Gillingham's stuff, told you I used to say it wrong, is to actually do it the way Terry Gillingham done it. So that's by cutting out all these pictures. So look, man, look at that tree. Like, cut them out and stick them up and build the picture that way. So I'm going to put these aside. 9 months I've kept these because I knew one day I'd use them. I'm going to put these there, and I'm going to take, I've got a 10 spot. I'm going to go to the charity shop and buy picture books and just see what I can use. That's what I'm going to do today. So I'll be back. And that's what I done. Like, I went to the charity shop and I bought bits of books and I started cutting it out. I started cutting all the stuff out. Like, I started cutting out different bits and bobs and stuff. And then I injured myself. It wasn't as bad as when I injured myself, like the fish tank, but I still managed to cut myself open and bleed quite a lot, which gave me the time to think. That's what slowed me down enough to think, I'm missing the point. The point of the vision board isn't to make the final product. The point of the vision board is so you can see it and give you the motivation and line up all the things you need to line up to make the final product. That's what the vision board's for. So I stopped and I went back to Photoshop. That's what I done. So this is what I made. There it's there. So that's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Rocking horse people eat marshmallow pie. Newspaper taxis appear on the shore. Plasticine porter with looking glass ties. Cellophane flowers of yellow and green. Picture yourself on a boat on a river. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. A bridge and a fountain. Tangerine trees. So that isn't exactly what I want to paint. But that's the idea, where I would paint a wall with the whole, like that sort of imagery on it, and then when you stand and look and listen to the music, like that would be the whole thing. And I want to do that with loads of songs. Marriage Daydream by David Bowie, I Am the Walrus obviously. I've got ones for like Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd, like just different things, songs that I really, really like and I love, and they work for this sort of thing. So that's the idea, that's going to be my desktop now. The whole time that I spent doing this, it helped me realise, like, I want to make this, like, actually physically make it. So if I find a wall and I get the dimensions, I'll make like a diorama, fill it full of this stuff, like actually make the plasticine porter. And this idea came from Pokemon cards. Like I play Pokemon cards with my boys, and like the illustrations and stuff, sometimes they'll put in like a model Pokemon in a real life situation and take a photograph of that, and then sometimes they're drawn, and then sometimes they're like knitted and stuff. Like they're all different kind of things. Each card has a different kind of way of illustrating stuff on it. It's amazing. So like that's what I want to do. I want to build that whole thing, so actually like put depth in it. So like have the marmalade sky background, then make like clouds out of like cotton wool and stuff, and like make cellophane flowers and make the hills and build stuff out of different materials and that, and then photograph it. And then once I've photographed it, I could paint that in the wall. Basically what this allowed me to do was figure out how I want to make this particular one happen, and I think it would look really cool for Mooney's Daydream as well. Film that entire process, like how I made each individual bit and stuff, like because there's bits in it like I don't know how to do, like I'm trying to figure out. Like I thought I could have the river actually made of blue cellophane, and like so it looks like it's really streaming over the stuff, and then light it in such a way where the shadows of the hills like are on the back of the thing and stuff, and like really make it look completely different. So it's not just like it is a drawing, but it's a drawing of a thing, and I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. So that is now my wallpaper. That's the wallpaper on my desktop. So I'll see that every day, and hopefully that will get me try to figure out how to make it happen, because that is like the I Am the Walrus thing's a thing I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I think I just need one to get the ball rolling, and then it's like, right, well that was really cool, could you do anything else? And I gave these videos a boring title for a reason. Like I know it's a bit kind of, I wanted this to be like a pseudo self-help thing. Like it's not like make a vision board and change your life. Like it's something I do that really worked for me. You can get me Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook at Mr. Tragic O'Hara. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to start a Chasing the Walrus playlist, so hopefully like it can be like a kind of documentary type thing. Because no one's going to make one about me, so I'll need to make one for myself. I'm up for making more stuff like this. Actually leave me a comment. It sounds pure YouTubey, and the Scottish bit of me's coming out. Let me know. Like I've been doing this for a long time, and I've done loads of things wrong. I'd be quite willing to make videos about and stuff. So let me know. Actually, like type something in or whatever, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, and if you can help in any way. If there's a wall somewhere where I can do this. It's just a case, it's a case of finding the time and the resources to do it, because it's going to build the model and to do it is going to take time. I mean, I live kind of skinny anyway, so if any kind of money I make for things, I kind of filter off into different kind of stuff so that I get the time. Like this, like if I had to work 24/7, I wouldn't be able to make videos like this. Like I try and make it so that I work so many days a week that I get a day to go, right, I'm going to go and make such and such a thing. And eventually I hope that what happens is that one day becomes 2 days, because there's other things that make money in the background, and then 3 days, and then 4 days, and then that's it. I just turn up and I can just make things and turn up and paint things for people, and this is, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to steal my outro. I've said in the last couple of videos I don't know what I'm going to do for an outro, so I'm going to steal it from my Tragical Mystery one, because I enjoy it. I like that outro, because it's the truth. I don't know what's next. Like I don't have a list of things like, oh, next week I'm going to make this. Like I don't know what's next. So next time, don't know.